Welcome back to Slacker Gaming, and welcome back to Jensen's story. And in this episode, we're going to view the job offers, and we're basically going to start doing the off-season stuff. I don't know how far we're going to get in it, if we stop the episode early, or if I accidentally change clothes in the middle of the episode because I ran out of time recording this. But you guys are going to enjoy this because we got some job offers, and we just lost our game in the Idaho Potato Bowl against Washington State. We finished the season at 8-5, so there's a lot of room for improvement, but we might decide to take our business elsewhere. So if you guys ever like to watch that, stick around. Alrighty, the moment you've all been waiting for, the job offers. So let's see what we got here. We got an offensive coordinator at Arkansas, a head coach position at California, offensive coordinator at Oklahoma State, and then we got a head coach job offer at UCLA. It says all of them are upgrades, which, I would say, I guess they're all upgrades. If you think going to an offensive coordinator position is an upgrade, then yeah, sure, it's an upgrade. None of these clubs did very well last year. UCLA, the best, went 6-6, which might actually not be bad. But anyways, yeah, I don't think we're going to go back to offensive coordinator. Honestly, it's weird because I feel like if I go back to offensive coordinator, the episodes are going to change. It's going to be weird because I'm not recruiting. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm mostly just playing offense. So I think we stay as a head coach for at least for now. There might be a job offer later where it's like I get to be the offensive coordinator of Alabama or something, and maybe I take that. But right now, I think we're good here. I think we can stay at head coach position. Now, UCLA, I think the fact that they went 6-6 in the Big Ten is kind of impressive. I don't know who they played. It looks like they're an 84 overall right now, and I would be in California, which means I would be fighting for those Californian. I think my person is in the West Coast, so this would probably benefit me by trying to go to California or UCLA. So both of these positions are actually really good offers. So do I go and look at who Cal and UCLA have? So UCLA and California, before we make those, I'm going to go actually look at their rosters and see what they have, because this could actually benefit me. Because if they got, oh my goodness, look at those seniors gone. They'll be starting a freshman quarterback or sophomore quarterback next year. Jimmy Archer. This guy's good, though. Okay, halfback, senior gone, so they'd be starting a freshman next year. Wide receiver-wise, best two wide receivers gone. Starting to see a little bit of a problem. They have one tight end. That ain't gonna work for me. Hopefully they recruited more tight ends, because that ain't gonna work for me. Yeah, they got a lot of gaps, a lot of seniors on this roster. So California's not looking good right now. Let's go take a look at UCLA and see who they got, or see if we wait until next week to see what job offers we get there. So, wow. Okay. I enjoy that. Sophomore quarterback is good. I mean, I can't complain about that. That's pretty good. Halfback, sophomore, Alex Bello. He looks good. Wide receivers, not great, but they're only losing one. These guys look pretty. Dingle. Good old Dingle. Okay, tight end wise, down to freshmen. So that's fine, I guess. Sophomore left tackle's good. Sophomore left guard's good. Freshman's good. This is looking pretty darn good. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. This looks pretty good. All right, UCLA. I see you. I see you, UCLA. They're looking darn good. They are looking darn good. So I'll tell you what I'm honestly thinking. I really like what UCLA has right here. This makes me very happy. However, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking at Fresno State, I feel like I have unfinished business. I feel like I haven't been able to get over that hurdle, that hump, the 8-5, the 8-6 record. And I feel like I should be going 10-3 like Washington State. The job offer seems ideal, okay? The UCLA job offer really does seem ideal. And if I would have went 10-3 last season, boom, UCLA is where we're going. However, I feel like there's unfinished business at Fresno. I feel like since this is my first head coaching position, that I have more to prove. I got to championship, got to the conference championship game year 1. I lost it. This year, I don't get to the championship game, and I lose my bowl game as well. And so this is tough because I'm like looking at UCLA and I'm like, yeah, they're going to be good. But I feel like I have to stay at Fresno. I feel like I have unfinished business. I can't leave going 8-5. I need a 10-win season to feel like I actually accomplished what a head coach should accomplish at a lower school. Fresno State, if you're a good head coach, a team like Fresno State, like Boise, should go 10-11 wins every season. And I have not been able to do that. I really hate that I'm going to have to do this, but I'm going to have to turn down the UCLA job. I think it's perfect. I love everything about it, except for the fact that I feel like I have something to prove at Fresno. I feel like I have to have a good season at Fresno before I leave. And honestly, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, my recruiting class is not great. But like, I feel like I have so much to prove. Now I'm going to cry. If UCLA has a top recruiting class, I'm going to cry. All right, they're not in the top 20. 25. So got a middle linebacker, another halfback. Yeah. I'm sorry, UCLA. I would love the opportunity to coach you. But I have to prove something at Fresno. I have to do something at Fresno. That's just how I feel. I feel like I need to do that. So, that being said, hey, I just cat's out of the bag. Unless if the second week has some crazy offer, then I might do it. But I feel like Fresno, I have to prove that I'm a good coach by winning 11 games at Fresno State. So that's my job. That's my job for next year. 11 wins. Not even like go to the playoffs or anything like that. Not even beat Boise, whatever. But 11 wins. I gotta go like 11-2, 11-3, something like that. I feel like once you go 10 or 11 wins, then that's when you can go ahead and make the jump to another big time head coach program. I don't feel like you can make that jump when you go 8-5 with Fresno in a division that's not the best. I mean, not even lackluster, really. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to stay at Fresno. I'm sorry, UCLA. I would love to take that job. It looks perfect. It looks like I could just absolutely kill it there. But I got to prove myself here at Fresno State before we do that. So hopefully our guys stay here. Quincy and Stewart, hopefully they stay. We'll see if they don't. That's fine. I don't blame them one way or another. But we're heading in to next week. There he is. Player of the week.
Ooh. Would you look at that? I changed shirts. We're on to another day, and we're on to some new job offers. And let's take a look at what we got. I know last week we had a couple of job offers. UCLA looked really, really good, but I decided that Fresno State, I can't leave Fresno State when they haven't had that breakout season. So I've turned down those options, but we're going to take a look at these options anyways. Ooh, I saw Oregon, and I thought that was said OC. I got excited. Okay, looks like we got a head coach position in Arizona. Looks like Sanders left the Buffs high and dry. Oregon defensive coordinator. If this was an offensive coordinator, I might take it. But defensive coordinator, definitely not. Head coach at Rutgers. So I got 3 head coaching positions that I could choose from. And again, I'm going to say I'm staying at Fresno. If this was offensive coordinator or head coach, obviously I would have taken it. But defensive coordinator, I don't want to do defensive coordinator even at Oregon. So we're gonna go ahead and decline those and kind of move on to next week and get the staff and all that stuff kind of where we're supposed to be. And then once we're through that, actually, let's take a look at the college playoffs real quick. I don't know if I even looked at it yet. We've already gone through 1 week. So we got Tulane, Oregon, Nebraska, Alabama, Tulsa, and Penn State, Tennessee, and Boston College. So some teams in there that aren't normally in there. Tennessee has been kind of on the up and up, so, they're in there. But Tulsa, Tulane, Boston College, I mean, those are some really good people getting in there that don't normally get in there. Nebraska. Anyways, quarterfinal is between Oregon and Georgia, Nebraska and Ohio State, Penn State and Kansas State, and then Tennessee and Florida State. Florida State finally riding the ship there at 12-1 on the season. Let's go ahead and go through, and we'll see who wins going into next week. Okay, we are on to the next week, and we got big win between Oregon and Georgia. I believe Oregon, I could be wrong, I think Oregon has won the national championship 2 years in a row against Ohio State. Has been that matchup for the national championship, and normally you would see that here, but Nebraska pulling the upset on Ohio State, number 1 ranked, but Nebraska pulling the upset against number 1 ranked Ohio State. So they're on to play Oregon there in the semifinal. On the other side, we got Penn State and Kansas State. Kansas State doubling their score and getting away with the win there. And then Florida State getting blown out by Tennessee. So both the top seeds 1 and 2 go down. So we got a 5-9, 3-10, even though seeds don't really matter in the playoffs, college football playoffs. I mean, they do it for home field advantage, stuff like that. But as far as the numbers themselves, it doesn't matter. Because Oregon at 5 is no worse than Florida State at 2. So keep that in mind. But we got Oregon and Nebraska, and then Kansas State and Tennessee going for the national championship. Hey, we'll take a commit. We will take a commit. Thank you very much. Excited to have you here. All right. So we got Tennessee and Oregon. So Oregon trying to go for the three-peat. And this is crazy because we've talked about Oregon being our alma mater, and the fact that they're winning so many national titles right now is beyond crazy. So let's take a look at the college football playoff. Just to look at scores and everything. So we got Tennessee and Oregon in your national championship game. Oregon destroying Nebraska 37-7. And it looks like Tennessee squeaking one out against Kansas State. So we got Tennessee and Oregon in the national championship. I believe Oregon has won it 2 years in a row now. If not, they won it the first year, didn't win it the second year, and won it the third year. Because this is the third year, isn't it? Yeah, this is the third year. So they did win it in the first 2 seasons. So we'll have to see if they win it again this year. Okay, this will be a fun one. And your winner of the 2026 National Championship is going to be Oregon. So Oregon does the three-peat and wins this one 38-20. I mean, wow. Oregon's winning it 3 years in a row is just wild. Because I feel like, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. It's just wild that a team has won it 3 years in a row. So we'll see if they can keep it going into next year. And hopefully in 5 years, 10 years down the road, they're kind of bad and we can get a head coaching position there. But if we're wanting to get a head coaching position right now, I don't think it's happening unless he goes to the NFL. So that's kind of the only other caveat about it with this year. And this game is they can actually leave for the NFL. So maybe he leaves for the NFL and leaves that head coaching position vacant. And we could possibly get in there even if Oregon's playing well. So that is another way we could get in. But they're going to win the national championship for the third year in a row. And we're going to keep going into recruiting. All right. So now that we've gone through that, let's take a look at who we got leaving and everything. 2 quarterbacks leaving there for graduation. Malawalu is staying instead of transferring. Avocado, loved him, did great for us. One of our best, was our best wide receiver, I guess. Avocado is gone as a senior. Left tackle leaving. Left guard graduating as well. Right guard transferring. We had a freshman red shirt that I think he was probably going to be the starter next year, is now transferring. So we're going to have to kind of figure out another solution there at right guard. Left end, Strickland's leaving. Mendoza, all of these guys graduating. Jax had a couple of good games there as well. Tui, and our main guy, that's two guys that are leaving, is our senior leadership on the defense. So defense might be looking a little different next year. But Branham and Rouse both graduating. I wish them the best at the next level. And then the right outside linebacker, we're losing another redshirt freshman, and Vincent and Tim Thomas graduating there as well. Briggs, Embry, not really getting too much playing time between these two, but they're graduating there as well. So honestly, going in the next year, not a lot of seniors that like had super big impacts are leaving. So a lot of our guys that did well and had good impacts were either sophomores going into their junior year or junior year going into their senior year. So we'll have to see what next year's squad looks like. I think the biggest ones obviously are the linebackers and Rouse and Brenham. I mean, they just played so well for us in the zone coverages and everything, all the interceptions, all the sacks, everything. They just played so well there. So hopefully we can kind of fill that void and our defense doesn't struggle next year, because our defense was kind of our like main good spot last year. That kind of kept us in games. We get another commit in Kerry Kelleher at wide receiver. So another commit there. Love to see that. We love all the commits. Bring them in. Bring all the commits in. We'll take them. All right, let's take a look at draft results. I don't know if we'll have anybody. Yeah, I don't know if we'll have anybody in the draft. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine with that. All right, now we are to the transfer portal and off-season recruiting, and I'm going to just jump in here and do this, and once I'm done with it and everything, I'll bring you guys back in when we kind of have a better foothold on what we're looking like. All right, week 1 of recruiting is done in the off-season, and we got a commit. Middle linebacker Bethel. Looks like he's going to be the only commit we get. So we're going to be up fighting for the rest of these guys, which, I mean, it is what it is. So we'll jump into week 2, and we will come back after week 2 is over. Week 2 is among us, and no commits. That's not good to see. It looks like we lost out on this guy. I mean, I get it. He's waiting for that kind of the scholarship and everything from Oregon, but to be putting so much time into a guy that could critically change what our team looks like, and then Oregon just is like, yo, you want to come? And he's like, yeah, that's great. It just, yeah. I mean, we had him in the bag. We were first on him and everything, and then Oregon just comes in, offers a chance, or offers him a scholarship, and that's that. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's probably real life. I mean, you know, if you're offered a chance to go play for a three-peat champion in Oregon or Fresno State, you're taking Oregon 100% of the time. So I understand it. It just, again, it sucks that we invested so much time into that guy, and then at the very end there, he just flips to Oregon. Week 3 recruiting lands us another tight end in Tim Hurley. A 4-star Lucas Simmons. He was a transfer from Stockholm. 4-star Derek Moore. Awesome. Another strong safety. And that's huge. Those are the 2 4-stars we were going after in the transfer portal. Able to grab both, which is exciting to see. It's, I mean, also is going to give us a lot more time to play with, because I think I was putting 55 on both of them. So, I mean, that's over, 110 hours there spent on other people that we need. So once I'm done with this one and we get all the signees and everything, I will let you guys know. All right. We're going into the final week of recruiting. And here come, hopefully, a bunch of commits. We get the 3-star wide receiver, 3-star center, 3-star free safety, 3-star halfback. He's a transfer. I'm really excited about him. Eric Gore, right in. I'm really excited about him, too. Turpin, quarterback. Yeah, I will definitely take it. Excited for... There we go. There we go. Let's get it. That was actually really good recruiting there. So National Signing Day, this is what we end up with on the team this year. We got a couple of quarterbacks in Mechie and Turpin. Halfback-wise, it's down on him. That stinks. But we did get the transfer in Quentin Edwards, and I think he might actually end up playing this year. So I'm excited to see what he could do. Matt Lamb at fullback. Wide receivers, we got the Beaver, Keller, Claypool, and Da Silva. All guys that might play. I don't know. It kind of just depends on what they look like overall. Wise tight ends. Sizer is the guy that signed early, and I think he's probably more going to be who gets to play if any of them get to play. Offensive tackle wise, though, we got some big signings here. We got Burr early in the season, and then we ended up getting the transfer, Lucas Simmons, a 4-star, a big transfer there from Stockholm. I believe he played at Florida State is where he transferred from, and Florida State went into the playoffs, so excited to see what he could do. Lanier at tackle. We needed some guards, so we went out and got Isaac, Nah, and Rouse, and yes, it is a similar Rouse to the one we had at middle linebacker, so excited to see him on campus. Obviously, one of the best players at Fresno State in recent history was Maverick Rouse, and now his cousin Sean Rouse is on the team at left guard. Going over to the center position, Artie Johnson, Escalante, Selm, and Blum. Got a bunch of and I'm going to move them around. They're not all going to stay at center. I just needed a couple. I think I needed 2 or 3 centers. So went out and ended up with 4. Then at defensive end, we ended up getting a big 4-star there early in the season with Scipio. Gore signed there at the end. Good get there. McComber, Coxey, and Hodges, so really, really good there. And then Johnston there at left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker, we were able to get Bethel there at the end of the season. And then we ended up getting Gallegos, Schuler, and then we ended up getting Derek Moore, a huge 4-star there for us there. And then, obviously, these athletes are spread out throughout. And so, yeah, I'm okay with the draft class or with the recruiting class. Obviously, I would have loved to sign more, but I can't be upset with what we did sign. I'm guessing top 30. Let's see where we are at. Last year, we were, 25 or something like that? So not top 30, 33 is where we come in. Yeah, we did not get as many 4-stars as I wanted. There was a couple that we were really, really high on, and then Oregon swooped in and just took them away. So it's just kind of one of those things that, when you're Oregon, you could do that. So we'll have to hopefully get to Oregon ourselves. We could be able to just go in and just offer a scholarship to a 4-star, and he just accepts it, and that's that. So I'm going to do the position changes, all the other stuff, and we'll hit you up when it goes into scheduling the calendar for next year and taking a look at rosters and all that. All right, we are at the schedule, and they gave us a pretty weird schedule that we have 5 and 6 in the middle here, and I changed this was, I don't know who this was, but we changed this to App State, and then we switched it to home. North Texas here at home in week 6. Week 1, we're starting it out against FCS Northwest. Then we go on the road to NC State, which should be a good game if they stay ranked there in week 2. Week 3 is a bye. Week 4 is Utah State, our first Midwest Conference game there, Mountain West Conference, sorry. Then we got App State, North Texas at home, New Mexico, week 7 at home. At home, week 8, Colorado State, week 9, UNLV, week 10, at Boise again. I feel like we do nothing but play at Boise. Then we go home, Air Force, home, Nevada, and then at San Jose State to finish
the schedule out. So before we end this episode, I want to go over the depth chart going into next season. Aguilera starting at quarterback again for us this year as a sophomore. Halfback is going to be Greensburg for now. Horn's going to be playing a little bit more this year because Greenberg a lot during the end of the season kept getting hurt because he was just wore down. So we want to kind of use that workload. We got some great guys behind him in Horn and Edwards, the transfer. So I want to take advantage of that and try to do our best to mitigate Greenberg late in the season being injured so much. Fullback is Drew from last year. Wide receiver is Sneed, Page, Malawalu, McClinton. Page will be our slot. He's going to be kind of our main guy there. So on the outside, Sneed moving into the number 1 role. Tight end, Jamari Johnson, an outstanding player last year. He's going to be kind of our main target this year as well. Him and Page are probably the 2 passing targets we're going to look to go to. Jamari Johnson had a very good season and just got better during the offseason. There, Anderson are 2 and Hook are 3 at tight end. Left tackle is going to be 90 overall. Lucas Simmons, the transfer we were able to pull, I believe, was it from Stockholm? I believe he was on Fresno State, but he ended up transferring, or not Fresno State, Florida State. He was on Florida State, I believe. And he transferred to us, a big gift from us. Our left tackle position should not be a problem, which is the blind side. So that should free up a lot of left side blitzes and stuff like that. So glad we got him. Then our left guard is a freshman red shirt in Cordero, 85 overall. Good to see that. A sophomore red shirt at center. A freshman red shirt at right guard in Rookie. And then Hurley at the right tackle position, sophomore red shirt. So a lot of young guys on the offensive line, but they're pretty good. So I'm excited to see what the offensive line can do this year, especially with the add-ins from the left tackle position. I want to see kind of what that left side really looks like when it comes to running the ball and scrambling and stuff like that. Our left end is going to be Damarian White. I believe he's reigning player of the year, reigning defensive player of the year, or reigning defensive lineman of the year last year. Very, very, very good. I'm excited to see what he can do this year. Danby at the right end. Defensive tackle, Lafidi is going to be the starter there. Left outside linebacker is going to be Chambliss. Middle linebacker is Marciano. Sophomore, red shirt. Excited to have him on the team. I'm excited to see what he can do, and he's probably going to be who we play with the most. 85 speed's huge when it comes to doing things, and honestly, he has a tendency of run stopper, so he hits really hard, but the 85 speed is huge when it comes to linebacker position. Right outside linebacker is going to be David Easton Jr., 89 overall for him. Then our outside and corner, Ashley coming back. Ashley had a huge year last year. I want to say he had like 9 interceptions, something like that. He had a big season last year, coming back as a senior, and hopefully we'll lock down that cornerback position. Got some actually really good corners out there this year. I'm excited to see what they can do. Free safety, Gallegos is a guy we brought in as a transfer. Scroggins played it last year. He will be the backup this year so far. And then strong safety, Higgins, doing his thing out there as a junior. Also has Derek Moore, that 4-star we got in the transfer portal. He'll also be out there as strong safety as well. Kicker, Dalia Gala is going to be our kicker this year as well. And our punter is going to be Hope. And then Paige is going to handle the kick return and punt return duties. And the rest of these are kind of just subbed in as we need. So that's going to be the depth chart this year going into season 3. Season 3 as a head coach of Fresno State. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button, because next week is going to be a true test. Because next week is going to be a huge test of our depth chart. So if you guys would like to watch that, stick around.